Hello. I meant to do this yesterday, but with all the storms going on here, I couldn't. So today we're going to be making another randomly generated creature. Um, Yesterday I was between being very tired and all of the storms going on, and then my internet kept going out. I was like, well, yeah, we'll just push it tomorrow because nobody really watches the live videos anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I wanted to do another randomly generated creature, so I don't know if I had these last time or not, but I made custom very large dice for this specifically. That way you can see the numbers that I've rolled very easily on the video. I am going to try to make the creature a little smaller today just because I want to conserve clay and I'm kind of running out of room for the figurines that I'm making. So, yeah, we'll make him a little smaller than normal, but I gotta pull up my little text box here because we're gonna have to put this on the screen and start writing, the options that we have or the attributes that we have rolled for this creature. But we're gonna go ahead and start. So the first selection here is body. It is a d6, so we're gonna roll a d6. That is a 5. So 5 is aquatic. That means fish-like. All right. First attribute is aquatic. Let me unhide the text box here. All right, so if you look, it's going to be on the screen up here. There. All right. Let's see. Our next option is going to be the face or nose. It's another d6. 2. Humanoid. All right. Ears. 1. Pointed. Right now it's sounding very siren, kind of naiad mermaid-like. We'll see. 4. Feet. I guess if it's aquatic, it would technically have a tail. Although we could do the front legs, so it's going to have a tail, the front legs. We'll see how this goes. 6. Digits, fingers. Yep, it's looking very mermaid-like at the moment. Okay. 5. Tail we already know because we're doing the aquatic, so it's not applicable. Wings we didn't roll for, so let's roll for extra traits. Because it wouldn't make much sense for it to have wings, I will re-roll if we get wings. Everything else we can do. So we're on the extra traits right now. 3. Teeth. Okay. All right. Let me see here. We can do odd traits. Let's do yeah, let's do one from odd traits on this section. 1. Tentacles. I mean, that fits pretty well for the aquatic. All right. And then randomization here. Let's roll 1 from the randomization table that's even further at the bottom. 2. Roll a d4 or d6 for leg number. All right, we'll do the d4. This is going to be some sort of weird humanoid lobster creature. I'm not sure. Not sure how this is going. Okay, 3. So we'll do 3 appendages for now. Yeah. I'm trying to visualize what this is going to look like. I'm a little bit not sure at the moment. Okay. And let's see, do we want to do another randomized? Let's do another randomized. 5. Roll more odd traits. We already did that. 3. 2 types of feet. Okay. So we did digits and fingers. 2 paws. Huh. So it's going to have 1 hand and 2 paws. Okay, we're going to do that. Let's put that under here. And then, of course, it's aquatic, so we'll have fins and such. Okay, this is gonna look really weird. Okay. 2 slash, because we rolled 3 appendages. Okay. And then we're not counting the tentacles as appendages, so those are going to be additional, I guess. Alright, this is going to be really weird. Okay. And we do have a second table here that's going to be the color designs. We will use that next time. We won't do that this time. So far we have... Well, I guess we didn't roll the extra trait, so I shouldn't skip over that. We'll roll an extra trait at the top here. Scales, that makes sense. Okay, so teeth, scales, that actually fits very well, so that's not an issue. We didn't need to skip that. I'm not sure why I said that. Okay, there we go. That way we're being fair to how we do this. So we have aquatic with a humanoid nose. Hold on. Pointed ears, fingers and digits on its hands, teeth, scales, tentacles, and 3 appendages. And I rolled for that for different ones, so it said 2 paws, and then that was our second type of hand, and we already rolled the digits for like the digits fingers. It doesn't have to be humanoid fingers and digits. We can make them more claw-like perhaps. But it needs to be individual digits like hands, like mice or people or monkeys or something. Alright. Now I'm gonna have to try to sketch this. Hold on, let me make this box fit the screen. Whoops, not that. Wrong one. Ah, go back. This box. Let me do that. There we go. That's decently readable. Alright. Let's move our dice over here. Chart out of the way. Alright, so we're going to start with our aluminum foil. Actually, I should sketch this first. Hold on. I'm not even sure what I'm visualizing at this point. So, it's aquatic, so it's going to be fish-like, so we need a fish tail. But in addition to being aquatic, it needs to have... So we can go for like the mermaid type look, maybe? This is tough. So if we go for the mermaid look where we have a head attached to a body with the normal like human nose, super pointy ears, or we could also do cat-like ears. Like, yeah, we could do double ears like that. We did not roll for the number of eyes. That might be fun as well. Let's do that real quick here. That's something I have for more randomization, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's roll for the number of eyes. 1. Alright. We're going to put that on there too. 1 eye. I think our last creature also had 1 eye. Hold on. Okay, 1 eye. So it's got 1 eyeball in the center. We have scales, teeth. Yeah, this is looking like some sort of water spirit monster thing. I'm gonna give it sharp teeth. It has paws of all things, which makes no sense whatsoever. Let's see, if we're doing a hand, I feel like a hand coming out of the back of its neck might be interesting. So you could have this like creepy clawed, this thing's gonna look creepy, so we're just gonna go for it. This creepy clawed like finger hand thing. And I would do the tentacles like little ones around its neck. Let me see. And the entire thing would be covered in scales, but we could have extremely detailed scales on the shoulders here. And I don't want the hand coming out of the head, but I think I want it... I would do thick scale ridges out of the head and then have the hand coming out of its back and neck with the tentacles around it. I'm not sure what Cthulhu-esque monster this is, but it is what we rolled, so we gotta roll with it. Alright. This is horrifying. Alright. I think it wouldn't be so bad if I had anything other than the humanoid nose. So I think maybe we'll do it in a position like this where it's seated. So that its tail's, and we can do it like, okay. So that the tail will be around in a curve and it will be sitting up. So, alright. Let's start creating this horrifying monstrosity that I just rolled up. I apologize, this is a little noisy. Now, so yeah, we're going to do it kind of like this so we can make it sit. And like I said, we're doing a bit smaller than I typically do just because I want to save a little bit on clay and space in my house. We may need some wire. I think I do have good. I have my wire and my wire cutters because I'm thinking that hand is probably gonna need some support, else it's not gonna stick up. So I think I'm gonna have this like almost like a slug type thing leaning forward. We're gonna go full creepy on this one because I don't know how else to interpret the things that we just rolled up. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start covering this little simple base that we've made. Yeah, I'm not sure why an aquatic creature would have paws. I'm trying to justify, I shouldn't try to justify it in my head, come to think of it, because you think of like the hippocampus and such as a horse underwater that has hooves. Like, it can't swim well, it doesn't, fantasy doesn't work that way. But I am trying to think, like, why would unless it was like partially land dwelling, which if we're doing it out of the water sitting like this, it probably is. It would have to be. I'm thinking too, like maybe not to do a strict like neck face, make it more slug-like in its shape, while still keeping like the aquatic body frame. Because it's either that or I'm going for like creepy Cthulhu-esque siren mermaid thing. More humanoid or more creature-like, really. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I do want to do roughly what I drew. So. Okay. Yeah, I was aware that I could get some really weird combinations. The last time I did this, I was rolling up a ton of stuff that made it look just like a pig. And thankfully it changed and ended up looking really weird. But initially I was like, oh no, it never occurred to me I could roll up a totally normal animal by mistake. But this one definitely isn't that. Alright. Alright, so we're just covering this with strips of clay until we get a nice base to work with. I could do the tentacles lower at the base maybe to add some more support, but I'm not sure. The tentacles are always rough. Whenever we add those onto something, it's always like, I don't know where to put them. I mean, it is aquatic, so I could justify it being like a tentacle base. That might actually work quite well if I do like a fishtail with tentacles around it, almost like a squid. Squids are aquatic, but that's not really what I meant when I said aquatic body type. I meant like fish body rather than tentacle. All right. Let's do this. I also need to choose the eyeball. Yeah, it might be nice to do like a fishtail with tentacles around the sides to make this more balanced. As a figurine, that might work better. Instead of doing it around the neck like I initially said. Just a little bit more for the tail. Alright, so this is the base shape here. I think we'll do this. All right. And let me see. I'm gonna add a little more to the top here just to shape the head a bit, and then I'm trying to think if I should do a definite neckline or if I just do it slug-like into the body. Maybe I should do the head like right here, slightly distinct. That would probably work. All right. All right. We're gonna give it a very large eye. Hold on. All right, let me grab some of my tools. I said one, then I grabbed a bunch. Some of my tools. Okay. We're gonna. I gotta see what eyeballs I have up there. I mostly have small ones. No, we got some big ones. Ooh, maybe. I kind of like the rounded one. I kind of like that one. And then we're gonna do this. All right. Let's do some lids around the eyeball so that it looks like it belongs in the head and is not comically shaped. Like that. All right. Okay, so the head definitely needs to be made bigger because it looks a little awkward at the moment. So we're gonna not smooth, we're gonna condition this, soften it up a bit, and then we're gonna attach it to the head here so we can make the head a little bigger. It doesn't look quite so comical. All right. There we go. Then we'll add the ears. Yeah, I want the extra hand coming out of the back of its skull. Yeah, I never thought too much about how difficult it would be to do like 3 appendages. It would be easier, I think, on like if you rolled that on a creature that would normally be quadrupedal, because then you could make it almost like a tricycle kind of look. Or, you know, a creature that walks upright, because then you can make it have, you know, 1 foot. But the thing with the aquatic one is it's like it already has a tail, so we're adding an uneven number makes it difficult to make it look correct. All right. He's looking very alien-like right now. Add a little bit of a chin here. Just realizing how difficult it is to make a one-eyed creature look angry or sinister. Because I'm so used to eyebrows only going in or out like on the edges. Okay. Alright. We've gotten the base of the face done and the body. We're gonna have to do the fishtail thing here too. The paws are gonna come out from here. And the hand from the back of the head. Okay. But I think I want to go ahead and do the ears. The only detail we had for the ears is pointed, so let's cock his head back a little bit like that. All right. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Now, if you're smart, you can always prep the surface like this so you have an attach point on either side. I always forget to do that, and then I do what I just did when I put the other ear on and accidentally smash part of it. So let's do this one correctly. Alright. Now, we didn't roll anything specific for the ears, but I'm going to go ahead and do the additional tiny ear on top just because I think that looked interesting. Alright, now we're going to do the tiny little ears on top because I liked that when I sketched that. Okay. Alright. So we got his pointy ears. Okay. Now we're going to take some wire here. Get wire cutters. Come on. Let me jam a deeper hole here for this. I think I might need a slightly longer wire if I do this. Yeah, let me get a slightly longer wire because I made that hole a bit too deep. Okay, let's do it super long and we'll just clip it to fit later. Okay. All right. It'd be cool if you did have a hand up here though, because then you could give yourself head massages. I mean, it would look really weird, but I always find running my hands through my hair very soothing. So like if I had a hand coming out of the back of my neck, I could just fix my own hair easily, you know. Not that this guy's gonna have any hair. He's freaky looking. Alright. I didn't know where else to put the extra hand, so, you know, it's just going there. think we should make like this the forearm, and then this would be the elbow right here, and then this is the hand part. Alright, so we're gonna I'm glad the internet's holding out. Usually Saturdays are a little rough, so I don't usually do Saturdays. Plus Saturday's my either work day or Bible study day, so I don't usually have time, but I didn't have too much to do today. Why? Alright. We gotta do the rest of this hand. Creating horrifying monsters. Although all of mine always look a little derpy for some reason. I actually rarely ever make something that looks genuinely scary. I don't know if it's just something in my head that wants to make everything cute or what, but... Miss Guinea Pig, could you be less noisy? Sorry, I don't know if that picked up on the mic or not, but she was very loudly chewing on her bedding, or her house. Not the one that's the log that she's supposed to chew on, but the plastic one that she's not supposed to chew on. Alright. I want to put a little bit of a spot here on the elbow. Because the elbow needs to be wider. Because I want this to be like a creepy, spindly arm. So... All right. You can see our horrifying creature that we're making. Yeah, this is going to be a little fragile. You can see we're getting all right. We'll give it 5, but I'm not going to do it like a normal hand with a thumb. I think we're going to just do smaller fingers on both sides. Since it's only one, I feel like if you had a singular hand, it wouldn't be like, it would be different. More like this. All right, and then we need a little bit underneath just to kind of frame. Okay. Let me shape this a little better from this angle. We'll do this. So we'll trace the lines of the fingers back to the ear. Like so. Alright. So now our dude has creepy claw hand above his head. Okay. Oh, I gotta neaten this out now that I can see it. Alright. Gonna go ahead and do the tail base here real quick. There's my mini roller. Okay. I think it'll help balance the figure a bit more. All right. Yeah, this is just looking worse the more I work on it. I don't know. Somehow, this is gonna look like a cohesive thing. I mean, it looks like a cohesive creature, it just looks really weird. This has to be one of the weirder things. Even when I did like test rolls and when I created the table, I don't think I rolled anything quite this weird. So this is fun. But somehow we're gonna make this look... I mean, it looks like a creature, it just looks horrifying and strange. Which is not my typical, not my typical style. Usually I like making cutesy things. But it's good practice. I need to do more creepy stuff. I want to do some, like, some more fan art maybe of non-cutesy things, because I think it would be good practice for me. I have done spiders before. I've sculpted some pretty realistic-ish spiders for dice before, which I didn't particularly enjoy doing that, but people always like them, so... People who like spiders like them. People who have arachnophobia do not. I don't have arachnophobia, also, I mean, I wouldn't be able to sculpt them if I did, but I don't particularly enjoy looking at them either. They're kind of fascinating, though, how their bodies work. Alright, so now we got more of our horrifying slug creature thing. His head needs more. I mean, I am going to add the teeth and such. I think we need to add an upper lip here so he looks less like... he looks like he's an old man who popped out his dentures or something. Alright. Oh! I didn't mean to drop that. That's fine. I'll work with something else. I don't feel like rooting around under my desk for that. There we go. Add this bit of a lip onto his mouth. Alright. Alright. So I think I want to add like a scale pattern to his head to make his head look less bald. So I'll do what I usually do for this, just kind of haphazard clay dots. Just sort of popped on there. Different sizes. We'll do it down the back of his neck here. So you can kind of see what I'm doing with his head there. It's like an alien fish monster. This one's fun because it's definitely more challenging than some of the others I've done. When they're really weird, it's difficult to make them. When they're like adjacent to an existing creature, it's a lot simpler because it looks more normal. It's easier to come up with the exact design. But when it's really far removed from something that makes any sense. Okay. So I added scales to the head. So the question is, should the paws be up in the air or should they be sitting down? I feel like they should be sitting down. So long, spindly paws. That'll give the creature more balance as well. Now I need more clay here. Oh, I almost completely forgot he needs a nose. He needs a nose. Oops. Alright, let's go ahead and fix that problem. Yeah, that's gonna alter his face quite a bit there. Okay. Alright. Well, that drastically changed his face. Okay, so it gave him a little humanoid nose. It's slightly upturned. There we go. Still gotta give him teeth as well. Okay, we don't need quite this much clay, but we're working on it. Working on it. I kind of like the spindly bits and pieces. Okay, so now we gotta get this clay and copy this on this side. So we'll probably back the tail up over here, like that. Okay. I mean, it's looking like something. I'm not sure what, but it's looking like something. think I also kind of want to do the, like a slightly shaped rib cage look. Okay. I'm making him look a little bit skinnier. Oops, just got to be careful because we can't uncover the aluminum foil base. All right. Yeah, we could do, instead of like a rib cage, it could almost look like gills. That'd be interesting. Okay, so we could do like gills here and here and here. And then mimic it on this side. Here. Here. Let's do this first one further. Start it here. And then there. Alright, so now we've got some gill lines. Okay. Let's go back to shaping our other leg here. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and attach these. Although, wait, this arm isn't quite shaped the way I want it to be shaped. All right. Let me see if I can do a little bit of a collarbone here. So, like so. And then all right, let me see if I can do a little bit of the collarbone here. All right. So now we got that so far. This is kind of fun, making something creepy and disturbing. Usually I don't do that, but it's a nice change for once. All right, so let me make 2 paws. And then I'm going to see if I can make them look kind of emaciated to fit our theme here. Alright, so... Alright. Exo... Okay. And I feel like, no, they need to be twice the size. They need to be bigger. Here, let me see if I can look up a reference here. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a... I look up some of the strangest things for art reference. Because I know they look super bony. Alright. Sorry. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this ridge here. We're going to go ahead and shape the ridge for like the knuckles of the paws. Like that. And then oh, he's unbalanced now. Hold on, I gotta prop him up a bit. There we go. That way he won't fall over. Once he has his paws, hopefully that'll be enough if I move them over here to balance him pretty well. And of course, once he's hardened and in the oven, it won't be an issue. But I'm gonna do this. And this. Okay. All right. There's one paw. I was trying to make it look kind of emaciated. Then we'll do this one. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing we did with this, where we do clay strips for like the tendons. All right. All right. We haven't even done the tentacles yet. All right. So this is what we have so far. It is definitely pretty horrifying. All right. So I want to do some spine. I want to give him a belly button. Hold on. And I want to do some faint lines for like rib cage, just at the top. Okay, like this. Okay. All right. All right. So I gave him a bit of exposed, not exposed ribs, but like visible ribs around the around, it sounds dumb to say around his rib cage, but that's what I did. Okay, so I want to give him a spine here, a visible spine. Again, not exposed, but just, I'm kind of going for the slightly emaciated, weird look, because I think that's going to fit the horrifying monstrosity that we were currently making. So, we're gonna... Okay. So now let's do some scales, just some little scaly patches on the shoulders. Alright, so a little bit further down on the arm, about to here. Some little scaly patches. Alright, so this is what we have so far. Okay, let me think. I mean, we could go ahead and do the tentacles. I'm thinking about having like just small tentacles around his waist. So we could do a bunch of little writhy, wormy tentacles. Like that size, so yeah. Okay, so let's do a couple more. And then I think we'll do like the scale pattern down the top of the tail. Alright. So that is 5. Alright, let's try adding the tentacles right here. Right, like where his hips would be if he were fully human. Or humanoid in this case. This figurine is going to be incredibly fragile. Okay, so we got that. Okay. We'll do one at the base of the spine. Here. Okay, and then two more. So one here. And then finally, one right about here. We are almost done. We're still still got to do the scales and some smaller details, but we have all the base requirements that we rolled up. I'm just gonna double check here to make sure I'm not crazy. So yes, now he has tentacles around his back, and so we have an aquatic body shape with the tail. We have a humanoid nose. We have pointed ears. We have fingers and digits up here, and the second type paws down here. We don't have teeth yet. I gotta do teeth. Teeth and scales we're still working on. So we have tentacles erupting around his hips. We have 3 appendages, 2 paws and 1 hand, and then we have 1 eye. Alright, so we're gonna rotate him a little bit here. That's what I want to do. Oh, I want to look at shoulder blades. Because I want to make his shoulder blades slightly visible. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then we're just gonna blend it into the rest of the figurine here. Alright, and then We'll do one on this side. Okay. All right, so we got some shoulder blade-ish shapes back there, so it's a little bit like that. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can just do ridges up top here. We'll just do faint lines. All right. So now I want to do some scaly pieces. We've done a little bit on the shoulders here. Then I'll leave the spine section untouched. So I don't think I've shown the back too much, but here's what we have for the back so far. But then I will, let's start from the front here. And then we can't forget I have to do teeth. I have to do teeth. So we're gonna some scaly patches here. Like so. Gonna work our way up the tail. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Then we just have to do some teeth. All right, so now we have scaling all up the back, not all up the back, but around the tail and to the base of the hips, where the scaling or the tentacles start. Okay. Now the final bit is we have to figure out how to do teeth. So I think what I'm going to do is a thin little ridge and then use a toothpick, because I have very tiny teeth. So we'll do this. You can see his bottom row of teeth now. Now we gotta do the upper row. I'm gonna push the mouth down a bit. Ah, I missed the teeth. Here we go. Shape the tooth again. Okay, so now we'll do a thin little thing for the upper row. Yeah, I don't think fangs look good. I kind of like it like this. I'm just doing a little bit of detail stuff on the face here. But he has teeth now. All right. All right. So here we go. Here is our randomized creature. He has an aquatic body shape, a humanoid nose, pointed fingers at the top, teeth, scales, tentacles around the base, 3 appendages, paws, and a hand, and 1 eye. Let me do something here real quick. There we go. You can see him a little better now because there's more shading. But you can see him from the front. See him from the back. Rotate him all the way around here. But yeah. He is complete. He is horrifying. But it's what we rolled, so hopefully this was a fun video. If you watch this, I do appreciate it. I will be posting an edited version of this after next week, because next week I will paint this little guy. We will randomly roll up the colors that we're supposed to paint him. And I have a table for that I've made up as well. So he will be completely randomized. But if you watch this video, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will hopefully be posting, I know I said I was going to do voiceovers for my mythological videos, and I was going to repost some. So I am still working on that. I kind of ran out of time because I have a lot of stuff going on. But I'm going to try to get that done very soon. It may not happen. We'll see. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I don't. But I do intend to. I do intend to. All videos from this point onward will definitely have all the mythological ones. Stories will have voiceovers. Some of the others may not, but I'm working on that. So I may re-upload some of my mythological short form, like minute videos. But either way, if you watch this, I greatly appreciate it. I wish you a good night, and thank you so much if you interacted or watched it. Bye.